Hello, thank you for stopping by on my note writing adventure. My name is Anna Dalman and welcome. It is day number 284 of my note writing adventure. I wrote most of what my note is on my laptop, and it is too long a document or too many words to fit on a little piece of paper, and usually I just write some prompting notes on the front and then think about it some more as the day progresses. However, it's in the reverse today. I have been up since early, garbage day, the trash cans had to go out, and so I've been working on this since 4 o'clock this morning, and as my thoughts were prompted, I typed it out. None of that will fit onto this little note, so I took a few words from there and I tried to boil it down into what I will share. So, Day 284, have you considered whether life changes are a disappointment or are you angry about all of it? Disappointment can become anger if you wallow in the discouragement. And so I know I've kind of touched on all of this over the past 284 days, but as I have shared before, when you're working on life change and trying to get your life back on track, you are going to cover certain things over and over again because it is so foundational to your functioning. Now, I have shared in the past that my life had dramatic changes. God transported me or relocated me from one end of the world to the other, etc. Church ickiness, health, etc. So my note, as I said, what it's titled to, and so I'm going to read what I've written here, so please bear with me. I don't like reading, I prefer just talking, but this is me talking to myself and challenging myself, and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's so important that one or two or three of you who may watch this may be struggling with the same or similar, and you need to know how to think deeply about what's been going on in your life, to work through what's the important nature of what you're trying to work out. I need to challenge you as I've been challenging myself over the past 284 days, but particularly just narrowing it all down to what I'm going to share with you now. So here goes. Who are you angry with? Is it anger or disappointment? Consider the difference. Anger and disappointment can be confused when living in ongoing difficulties. Disappointment alone, when not dealt with, can progress to bitterness, resentment, anxiety, rooted in the idolatry of your past life. When you allow that to gain hold and anything else but your former life is it for you, you've made that former life an idol. You are dissatisfied with anything else in comparison because everything else is not good enough for you. That means you're loving yourself far more than you should. And I know that might sound contrary, but consider it deeply. Why do you deserve more than anybody else? And why did you deserve the sweetness and the blessings of something that was taken away from you? All of that you need to examine. Let me continue. Past life of experiences, people, achievements, and those things you miss from a former manner of life. That's the idolatry. So rooted in idolatry of your past life, of experiences, people, achievements, and those things you miss from a former manner of life. Don't allow what used to cloud what can be. Don't allow what was to cloud what can be for you today. Refocus, rechannel what was in the past into the now. How to do this? It depends on what was and what you want in the now and in the future. Change what you can and let go of what you are not able to change. Now, there's certain things from my past that I loved prior to this new geographical location that I loved that cannot be the same. It will not be the same. However, who was I then, and what were the strengths I had then that allowed for those circumstances, those friendships, that community to be what it was. Okay, so change what you can and let go of what you are not able to change. Those prior experiences gave you strength. Use the strength to reimagine today and tomorrow. Live. Be grateful for the small things. Being grateful for the small things gathers them together to be your new normal, your new gratitude. When you're grateful for those itty-bitty little things, which really, in comparison to what your prior experience, your prior life was, are really nothing. But yet they are positive experiences. If you are going to look at them through the lens of the past, you're not going to see them for what they are. You need to recognize them, appreciate them, be grateful for them, praise God for them. And the more you do that, the more you focus on those little things, the more they will be threaded together and become something not the same as the past, but the person you were, your strengths then will now be transferred to the new thing, the new working out, the new life. Okay. Be grateful for the small things. Gather them together to be your new normal, your new gratitude, the new you, better and dependent on God. You have to be dependent on Him as He moves you through those little things and brings them all together into a life. A question to ponder. How would the person you are today, taking all the trials and struggles of the past years, speak into that person of yesterday, before the major changes in your life and everything was taken away? What would you now today tell that person there? What cautions would you give them? Okay, so let me read that to you again. A question to ponder. How would the person you are today, taking all the trials and struggles of the past year, speak into the person of yesterday, the one whose hopes were so different to the current reality? What would you want her to know, and those whom she built community with, about life lived in the here and now with its complexities? Would the here and now, with all you've learned, be valuable to share with a community of yesterday? Of course. If it is, and I'm sure you know it is, be grateful for what you've learned and share it. Consider the very reason that yesterday is no longer yours is that the Lord wanted you to know His strength through the here and now to bring you to greater strength, greater knowledge of grace. So true for me. Now, how to navigate the here and now to bring the yesterday experiences of grace, the provision, the community, the relationship building into today. How to bring the past experience, the wisdom learned in it, the practical living of it into the present. Is there a difference? Should there be? Did you, me, lose sight of the goal, living for His glory? It was your, me, essential in the yesterday, so living for His glory was my essential in those yesterday, that life experience. But what about now? Did I lose sight of that along the way? Is this an easy do? What do you think? That's not an easy do, right? What do you think? Share in the comments. Share with me what you think. Can you do it on your own? I can't. I know I can't. Will you need to rely wholeheartedly, always and every moment on 2 Corinthians 12 grace? You bet. My grace is sufficient. We discussed that yesterday. What are you doing to move forward with a positive agenda? We've discussed that over the past few weeks. What roadblocks are you, meaning me, putting in place to fall short of what you know is necessary? And I do that to myself. I dig holes for myself. Shame on me. And then considering all I've just shared of the examination and the calling to bring all of that together and focus on life in a new way. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? I can certainly say without the Lord's help, I can't be. And now many of you, if you've watched me for a period of time, you'll know my favorite verse showing the depths of how God brings changes to life is Proverbs 24:3-4, and it's on my metal board over there that I have it magneted on, so I'll just lean and read it. Through skillful and godly wisdom is a house, a life, a home, a family built, and by understanding it is established on a sound and good foundation. And by knowledge, the rooms, every area, every recess, the deepest parts of a life, a home, a family are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Friends, that's the depth of change that can come. I lived that. That was actually what I had written out pretty in nice font and framed and had in the living room of where I was a house mom. I love that verse. It is actually even on like little certificate things I created just as a nicety, as a fun thing to do, and gave to some of the young women who lived there. That has been with me all along. And that needs to be my ongoing focus. Friends, if you're wanting change, that's the depth and that's the width, the breadth that you can have change in your life. So let's get busy. Are you ready? Let's grow together. So until tomorrow, friends, take care and God bless, and we will talk again another time. Bye-bye for now.